Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Good afternoon. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for staying for the last but one session of the day. Awesome to see all of you. It's not every day that we have the opportunity to be in a room full of so much potential and curiosity. And our goal today is not just to share insights, but really to ignite your imagination and spark some ideas, because we think it might just change the way you think and act. So buckle up. This session is like no other. We're really going to have some fun here with a lot of demos that Amit is going to show us. And before we dive in, a quick intro. I'm Archana. I lead all things Copilot for admins. And Amit here does a lot of things, but among those, he is our Copilot liaison for customers. And by the way, we also have folks joining us online, and we have a great team on the Pubble to answer questions. So folks online, welcome, and we look forward to you joining us as well virtually. So with that, let's get started. And just one more thing. We're just getting started here, and we hope to continue the conversation after the session. So you can connect with us, use those QR codes, or you can come and talk to us after the session. We would love to continue the conversation after the session. So with that, let's get started. So there are a lot of trends shaping our world today. According to the Microsoft Defender report, ransomware continues to be a major threat. Now, sometimes when we look at these numbers, we get desensitized because, you see a lot of statistics and numbers. So to put this in perspective, there were about 389 healthcare institutions that were affected by ransomware. And this means critical infrastructure was affected, and this means treatments were delayed. I myself experienced it because my mom had a critical dental appointment that she had to go to, but the medical insurance company was attacked, and so all their records got deleted. So this becomes really personal. Attackers are using increasingly sophisticated techniques, and we are seeing a convergence of nation-state and cyber criminals, so they're getting extremely sophisticated. But they're also looking for the easiest way to gain entry into your enterprise. And unmanaged devices essentially become that vulnerability for all enterprises, right? Because attackers are trying to use these to gain initial access or even to remotely encrypt some of your organizational assets. So we've seen a lot of the ransomware really going after unmanaged devices. And so then this leads us to the problem, which is you now need a well-trained cybersecurity staff to now investigate these incidents, look for breaches. It's like finding the needle in the haystack, which is extremely difficult. And then on the other hand, you also have rapid technology evolvement. And with that, what happens is your entire staff is going to need reskilling and upskilling. So these are some of the trends that make security extremely challenging for enterprises. And for over 2 decades of my career, I've spent a large part of that in the reactive side, which is how do we really build endpoint security products? How can we build EDR and XDR products? And they all have their role, and they're all important. But as a security professional, we always had this discussion about how can we shift left? How can we take customers to a point where we can reduce their attack surface, harden their systems so that they're not being attacked as easily? And you know what? Management is that shift left strategy for you. If you had strong management policies, configuration settings, you can really reduce the attack surface, be more proactive in your security posture. And even if there is a breach attack, management has tools to really rapidly respond to these threats. And so we really want to make sure that all of us are thinking about IT professionals as not just doing configurations and settings, but really as people who are implementing proactive security strategies. But these IT professionals have their own set of challenges. I'm sure all of you can relate to these issues here. There is just a complex diversity of devices in your environment that have to be managed. IT staff are having to do repetitive tasks. They're having to be reactive. If some device goes down, some employee is not being productive, so they have to react quickly. And then, of course, there's always the challenge that if you don't have the right compliance policies, you're going to have accidental sharing of data. And then, of course, most customers are still in the process of moving from on-prem to cloud, and that amounts to high IT costs. So what if, instead of dealing with these challenges, you can go from managing complexities to actually driving innovation in your organizations? What if you could just focus on driving adoption of new technology? What if you could make your workforce more productive? What if you could have proactive suggestions from AI to help you with your job? What if you could have controls that help you manage data sharing in your enterprise, especially in the age of AI? So there are a lot of what-ifs here, and we believe that you can get there with AI helping you. And so imagine if interacting with AI is as simple as talking to somebody. What if you could just talk to your product? What if you could have natural language interaction? What if you could simplify your complex, challenging tasks? What if AI is so reliable that you can rely on it even for time-sensitive things that need to be done quickly? So those are kind of the things that we're really focused on in helping you with. And with that, we've taken a holistic approach with Security Copilot, where we are enabling AI, generative AI, to support both the IT and security personas in your enterprise. And so you will see, and I'm sure you've been at several sessions at Ignite, where you've heard about Security Copilot in Entra, in Intune, in Purview, and all other products. And so we are really taking a holistic approach because we believe that this is the best way that you can really have end-to-end protection and really have secure ecosystem in your enterprise. Now, we take responsible AI very seriously. Your data is your data. Your data is not being used to train our foundational AI models. And we have the most comprehensive set of security controls for your AI. So this is something that we have a lot of focus on, and this will be a theme that we continue to focus. Now, the other thing, when we thought about, OK, how do we design Copilot for you, one of the things we said was we really need to ground it on some really basic principles. Keep it simple, right? Meet you where you are. We don't want you to have to go to 5 different places to go use Copilot. Copilot should just be available where you are. It should simplify what's complex for you and really help you focus on what's most important. So that was pretty much the fundamental design principle. And you might think, OK, this is a no-brainer. But as you develop products and software, we can get really complex in what we do. So these really help us ground our solution to make sure we are focused on our customer and keeping it simple. So with that, the other thing we are focused on is really helping you along your entire life cycle. So whether it's from planning to managing to troubleshooting, whatever it is you're doing, we have Copilot assisting you along the way. So with that in mind, we've already launched a few capabilities. These are available today in public preview. We thought about where do our customers really need a lot of help. We spoke to a lot of customers. Policy management emerged as one of those really key capabilities that customers needed. So we have Copilot assistance for policy management. We have Copilot assistance for troubleshooting. Again, sometimes it gets really reactive. How can you quickly get information so that you can address the issue? And then we also heard from customers that they really would like to get access to information from, they typically troubleshooting a single device. Can I get this information quickly, real time from the device? So that was the other area where we focused with Copilot. So these are capabilities that are available today. You can try them today if you sign up for our public preview. But to give you a glimpse of what these look like, Amit, why don't you show us some demos?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Archana. I want to start off with asking a quick question. How many of you have been working with policies in Intune? Raise your hand. Pretty sure everybody in this room has been using policies or has created or worked with policies at any given point in time. With Copilot in Intune, we're bringing you the ability to gain deeper insights into the various settings, understand information about the impact of the policies around security, around user. More so, have you had a situation where you wished, oh gosh, Can somebody just tell me exactly what this policy contains and what are the things that are important to me? Or even further, how many other policies have this particular setting that I want to deploy? And am I going to cause a conflict and chaos in my environment? Does this resonate with you? Yep, it does. Well, you're in luck. Welcome to Copilot in Intune. I'm going to walk you over the experience where we show you exactly how Copilot in Intune is going to assist in these scenarios. So once you have enabled Copilot in Intune by turning on Security Copilot, you would be greeted with this familiar interface. You have the ability to click on Policy Management, which will walk you through the initial introduction on how to leverage Copilot in Intune. In this case, I'm going to pick up one of the security policies that was created by the admins about a year ago. And I'm going to start off by understanding what's in this policy. So I'm hitting Summarize this policy. Copilot is going to go ahead and give me a summary of the policy leveraging the Intune plugin with the power of Security Copilot. Here you can start to see we have the list of the various settings associated with the values. It is also providing me the information about the assignment of the groups, include and exclude. I further want to understand the impact of this particular policy on security, because my security folks are more interested to know what is going to happen once I deliver this policy. So I start by asking Copilot, describe the impact of this policy on security. Sure enough, Copilot understands the context. It is going to summarize the information and give me actionable, useful insights with regards to security. Furthermore, I want to dive deep into a particular setting. So you would notice now we have a Copilot moniker right next to each of the settings. Clicking on it invokes a prompt that helps you understand more about the policy setting itself. So tell me about the policy setting, and in this case, it happens to be block untrusted and unsigned processes that run from USB. Now look at the output. I'm actually getting information that is more relevant to me rather than just giving me text. More importantly, I want to ensure that I'm not going to cause conflict, so I'm going to ask Copilot, has this setting been configured in any other policies? Thereby ensuring that when I create new policies with this particular setting, I am rest assured that I have fully understood and gathered and learned and known what other policies have this information. So we provide you with that data. We also provide you with links to the specific policies themselves. We provide you the information on policy type and the setting. And then if you're interested, you can go ahead and click on the policy, which will launch you directly into the policy itself. How cool is that?
Woohoo!
Moving on, let's look at how Copilot is assisting in the troubleshooting experience. With Copilot in Intune and Device Query, which was recently released, you now have the ability to translate natural language business intent into KQL expressions. Device Query provides you the ability to have real-time access to devices and understand the attributes, and then further take necessary device actions. In this particular scenario, we're looking at the case of a missing patch. There has been a report, and I want to understand if a particular patch has been missing from a device, and if yes, I want to be able to remediate that device. So let's take a look at exactly how this all spawns out. I'm going to click on the device, get into the device query blade, and within the device query blade, I've been given the query to look at the event logs by one of my administrators who is a KQL expert. But I am not a KQL expert. So I'm going to use the query and then scour through the event logs to figure out if the patch 504430 was actually installed on this device or not. Sure enough, it was not installed. What I'm going to do next is I have a remediation script that I can actually leverage to restart the Windows Update agent and perform other actions on fixing this update scenario itself. So I'm going to go ahead and run that particular remediation script with device actions and wait for the device to have patch installed. But I want to validate if the patch was installed or not. And again, I'm not a KQL expert. I'm going to leverage Copilot to help me reduce the complexity and quickly give me the KQL query that is required based on the schema and the attributes associated with device query itself. So here you're seeing I'm asking, was KB 50443030 successfully installed on this device? Copilot is translating this natural language expression into a real KQL query, and more so, I can actually add this KQL query and run it from device query, immediately telling me, yep, the patch was actually installed. Let's take a second example here. You've seen how single device query is augmenting the troubleshooting experience, but what if I wanted to go more complex? Can Copilot help and reduce that complexity? In this scenario, I'm troubleshooting remote desktop issues, and I want to know if there is a particular registry value that has been set blocking the port number. But I do not know what is the exact registry value. So what am I going to do? I'm going to leverage Copilot. Let's take a look at how Copilot is able to understand the words remote desktop, it's able to understand registry, and it's able to translate the request into an exact KQL query, leaving me with actionable results. So as you can see here, I've asked the question, show me the RDP port configured in the registry on this device. I could have gone to the internet and searched for this all day long, could have tested and tried, but with Copilot coming into the picture, I have very specific pinpointed output that I can immediately take forward and leverage with device query itself. So here you can see Copilot has understood the RDP port. It has told me exactly which registry setting it is, and I can execute that through device query and understand if the port was changed or not. How awesome is that?
And we actually did a study to find out how customers are finding these capabilities, and we had an overwhelming response that they're really finding this useful. So we'll be happy to share those findings and studies with you. But we're not stopping there. At Ignite, we've announced some new capabilities, and we're going to show you demos of those as well. First, we really want to empower your first line of IT to be able to do complex things. Right? So a lot of folks who may not be able to write KQL queries can now use Copilot, and with Copilot assistance, they are now a KQL expert, right? They can actually write complex things, get the data, and then their actions are right there, and they can take the actions. So that's number one. We are expanding that to be able to query multiple devices and explore your inventory data, and then use that for taking actions. The second thing is we really want to simplify your update management experience. And so our Autopatch team has been working hard to bring Copilot capabilities in Intune to help you with that. And thirdly, one of the common things we've heard from customers is they love our endpoint privilege management capability, but they really want guidance on, should they approve the privilege escalation request? How do they know more about this app to make an informed decision? And so we've added Copilot support to EPM, which essentially helps you determine if the app is safe, is it risky or not, in order for you to decide if you should allow the privilege escalation. But again, let's see all of this in action. Amit?
Well, welcome back. So let's take a look at the experience that we had previously and being extended into multi-device query itself. Previously, you saw me troubleshooting a single device leveraging device query. We're extending that support to the entire fleet of devices through multi-device query experience itself. What we're providing here is Copilot reducing the complexity, again, translating the natural language business intent complex request into a KQL expression that you can execute through the multi-device query experience itself. So like I said, previously we had single device missing patches. Now we want to find out if there are multiple devices that may have been missing patches, and I want to find out if there is a KQL expression for that. I further want to take action against those devices and then be able to fix those. So let's take a look at exactly how the entire thing spawns out. I'm going to start with leveraging Copilot to help me build the KQL expression and understand how many of my 23H2 devices have been missing patches for the past 20 days. Because the previous experience has told me there may be other devices missing the patches and in similar boat. I'm going to ask Copilot to give me that expression. Copilot provides me with that expression. I take that and execute it directly through the multi-device query blade, which gives me the list of devices that may have been missing patches. And now I can select them, and As you saw previously, I can take an associated device action. In this case, I want to be able to run the remediation script that was created to fix the patches, to install the patches on multiple devices instead of one devices. And this is how Copilot is turning our admins into heroes. It is making everybody a hero now. Let's take that example a little bit forward because we are humans. Let's face it. Every human thinks, understands, and works differently. Copilot augments that experience. Whether you're an admin whether you're somebody that understands and fully writes English or otherwise, here I'm using a natural language expression where I have to install a bunch of apps on devices, and I want to be able to figure out how many of these devices are running a certain version of Windows and leveraging a specific amount of storage space and have a specific amount of RAM. Notice that I used a different word and a statement at this point in time, and is Copilot able to understand the human aspect and converts the requested statement into a KQL expression, providing you with the complex joins. If you notice over here, there are multiple complex joins that have been associated with this particular query. And once I've gotten the result, I can go ahead and further take the necessary actions. Very similar to the previous experience, but highlighting the fact that Copilot is here to help you reduce the complexity. And no, you don't need to be a KQL expert anymore. Who needs KQL experts? Copilot is there to help everybody. I'm going to move on and talk a little bit about Windows Autopatch experience. Windows Autopatch is a cloud-based service that automates updates for Windows, Microsoft 365 apps, Microsoft Edge, Microsoft Teams, and helps you improve the security and productivity across your organization. With Copilot, you can leverage the experience to streamline updates, troubleshooting, and deployment analysis. In this particular demo, I'm going to demonstrate how Copilot is going to help you prepare for the impact of an update and identify update issues for your Autopatch devices. So let's take a look. This is a very familiar releases page, which is going to show you the high level of different releases. On this page, I can see there is one quality update, and there are 4 feature releases, including 3 Windows 11 update versions. The first thing I want to do is understand what is the impact of the feature release for Windows 11 version 24H2, and also what is included in this particular version. So I'm going to start off by asking, what's included in Windows 11 version 24H2 update? What impact do these changes have on my Autopatch devices? In a split second, you're going to see the information provided by Copilot in a detailed summary, helping you understand exactly what are the different different known issues and the impact associated with this particular feature release. Furthermore, I want to understand the state of deployment of my devices against the various feature releases that I have in my infrastructure. So I'm going to start by asking, get the feature update status with device counts. The feature update status gives an overall picture of your device state, along with a breakdown of the device type. As you will see here, a majority of them have been updated, but there are some that are pending updates. So what am I going to do? I want to find out what is causing these devices to not update, and why are they in the pending update state. So I'm going to start by asking, what are the top issues and alerts that are impacting the Windows 11 feature update for my Autopatch devices? You will start to see Copilot summarizes and provides you the information about the top issues and the alerts that are impacting Windows 11 feature update for your Autopatch devices. And it also helps you take that information and then be able to take appropriate actions associated with that. So here I can see there are various different known issues and alerts that are displayed through Copilot that I can make use of, and then take my devices to the next level. Furthermore, I want to know how many Autopatch devices are not up to date because of these issues and alerts that have just shown up. So you will start to see, once I hit enter on this particular prompt, Copilot is going to summarize, and it's going to tell me for each of these issues what are the various different devices and how far-reaching the issue is, and what actions are required by the administrator to ensure that these devices are patched and these devices are meeting the required standard by the organization. So in this case, you can see there are about 50 devices that are impacted, and the breakdown of each issue can guide you through the prioritization list. You can continue the investigation further by asking for the list of devices and so on and so forth. With this, Copilot has provided you with a complete view of the update workflow, making it easier to analyze and manage updates, and also it eliminates the time-consuming task of delivering instant insights from various different data and reports. So that was Autopatch and the Copilot experience. I'm going to shift gear quickly into endpoint privilege management. And a very quick question. How many of you have been using Intune Suite and endpoint privilege management? Quite a number of you. I can see a lot of hands here. So for those that haven't been using endpoint privilege management, it provides you with the ability to run a standard user environment following the zero trust principle, yet ensures that your end users are productive and are secure. With Copilot and endpoint privilege management, we're bringing you the ability to understand if a particular application that was requested for installation through the support-approved workflow has had any particular vulnerability. We're leveraging the power of Microsoft Defender threat intelligence and enhancing that, augmented with Copilot, and stopping various different attacks. And I'll show you exactly how this is all going to spawn out just in a second. Very familiar interface. The user has downloaded a printer driver because they're working from home and they want to install it. So they have requested for elevation through the support-approved workflow in endpoint privilege management experience. This request now shows up on the admin side, and the administrator has to decide whether to approve or to deny this particular request. But hey, look at this information. I have no idea if this is a vulnerable app. So I'm going to use Copilot to actually analyze the hash information, leveraging Microsoft Defender threat intelligence, and tell me if I should be approving this or denying the request. As you can see on the screen here, this particular app is really malicious. I don't think I want to approve this particular app. And yes, absolutely, this is going into the denial box. And we were bringing this capability to life. We had actually a customer that was able to stop a nation-state attack leveraging the power of EPM and MDTI. How cool is that?
Awesome. Thank you, Amit. Hope you all enjoyed those. These features are now available in our public preview. We would love for you to try them. And it's just amazing what you can do with Copilot, right? So just give it a try if you haven't already. We're really excited about this. But now we're going to talk about something interesting, a glimpse into the future. And I see our marketing manager here, Eugenie, sitting right in the front row. We snuck these in because we usually get some pushback from our marketing from talking about too many futuristic things. But look, Copilot and generative AI is so new, and it's evolving fast. We really think this is a partnership with you. We work and develop these capabilities together. So we really want you to participate. We want to have these conversations with you. So we're going to show you some early concepts, and we would love to hear from you. So with that, a few things that I want to discuss on how we are thinking about it. Now, we've all been introduced to generative AI with kind of this chat-type interface, right, that you're asking questions, it responds. But we're really thinking about it as not just this tool on the side, but something that becomes inherently part of your surfaces. Just think about all your surfaces that you interact with becoming inherently intelligent. They are powered by generative AI. In a number of customer conversations, we talk to customers, we show these demos, they say, hey, why should I ask that question? Shouldn't generative AI already know that this is what it's supposed to do? Absolutely. There are many cases where the admin doesn't need to ask the question. It should just work because the surface is inherently intelligent and it's able to help you out, right? So that's how we are thinking about it. So we are really going towards making all your surfaces intelligent instead of thinking of AI as a tool on the side. Secondly, this is what I'm most excited about. I think we are in a paradigm shift where, traditionally we've thought about products and the data per product, and then you have a user of this product and a user of that product, each having kind of a siloed view within that product. But imagine if Copilot can really reason over all your data, right? So across all your products, it is your data. And so if Copilot were able to reason across that data and really provide you holistic insights, that can really supercharge every user persona in your enterprise. And so these are two key concepts that we are thinking about as we think about how we develop the future of all our capabilities. So I'm going to share a few concepts with you. The first thing, as I said, really about an AI-first interface, so I'll talk a little more about that. The second thing is how can we make all your user personas have a 360-degree view of what's going on so that they see the big picture. And finally, of course, who hasn't heard about agents in these last 3 days? Anybody? Okay, everybody's heard about agents. And so what does that ecosystem look like? What does an ecosystem of human and agent look like, right? So these are some of the things we're going to talk about. So first, as an AI-first interface, so really to ground this, our CVP 𝗦𝗽𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, and Sangi, our engineering leader, did a breakfast session. Did any of you attend that yesterday? It was really early in the morning. Oh, wow, 7 a.m. in the morning. I'm glad some of you caught it. It was an awesome session, and I really liked something that Michael said at that session. We're really thinking about this as connecting your business intent to the data schema. Just think about that for a second, right? Like business intent to something that's really granular and fundamental within your architecture, and how can we connect the dots so that AI can really translate your business intent into the things that you care about and into actionable insights that you can then act on. So that's the first thing. So we're really revisiting our interface and saying, okay, how should this AI-first, natively Copilot-enabled interface look like? Of course, natural language interaction is going to be a huge part of it, but what other user interface elements will contribute to making it an inherently intelligent interface, right? So that's number one concept. The second concept is, okay, how do all your user personas across your organization have the same level of information so that they can take the appropriate action? And how do you make sure that each of these personas are not just focused on their silo and therefore do not understand either the urgency or the big picture of what is really important and why it's important for them to finish whatever they are assigned? So let's take an example of this. I'm going to play a video.
Enterprise have several specialized admins that often need to collaborate to resolve issues. They often need information and functionality from other portals or each other to do their job. This is especially true for conditional access policy management. But the reality is sometimes they don't know where the information lives or who they need to contact to get it. Let's see how Copilot could augment IT admins' capabilities by bringing contextually relevant Microsoft and third-party information directly into the tools they use. Copilot can assist by quickly summarizing and synthesizing relevant information, providing an immediate foundation for decision-making and problem-solving. In this example, the help desk admin sees a summary of the sign-in issue he was investigating and a suggested step for escalating the issue. Here, the device admin sees the same summary of the issue and the steps she can take, which is to patch the devices. And here, the identity admin is also in the loop and is quickly able to take action to restore user access and send an updated policy for approval to the security admin. Copilot insights can be delivered to admins wherever they are. With Copilot's help, admins can do their jobs more effectively, enabling faster resolution of the issue end to end.
How cool is that, right? Now, every user persona has the same level of information about what's going on. In the concept, you saw that they see the steps needed to resolve the issue end to end, and you can see which step is completed, which one is still pending. And so it really creates a lot of cohesion in trying to address the issue end to end, right? So lots of good stuff here. We're really excited. And by the way, a lot of great work has gone into bringing this to you. I really want to thank our team behind the scenes for helping us with this, and we look forward to partnering with all of you, look forward to conversations. And with that, we would love your feedback, so please use this QR code. You can send us your comments. You can also reach us through email, and we would love to follow up with you on any conversations. Thank you.
Thank you.